the men who were tasked with taking the Chargers to the Super Bowl. Justin Herbert, Michigan man, national champion, Jim Harbaugh, and Joe Ortiz of the Los Angeles Chargers.
Let me get one, Coach.
See you guys. Oh, Coach, yes, Coach, I need it.
Up top.
Okay, one, this one, and then two, that one, and then the audio control. 1, 2? Yeah, 1 or 2. It should be able to get over to you.
She ain't that.
There you go.
There it is.
Yeah, works perfect.
Can you hear us?
I can.
Can you hear us?
Yes, sir.
All right, you're going to have to put the mic.
There it is.
Yep, got me. There we go. Let's go.
Look at that.
Hey, it's 2025. NFL General Manager. I got the mic. Okay, we will figure this out. We're talking about. So, Coach, as you guys know, and Joe, as you guys know, this is like a spring break almost for the entire NFL. Used to be, at least. Everybody comes here. Everybody meets here. Everybody gathers here. A lot of conversations. A lot of the ex-players that I know have been talking about potential culture issues in places, whether it's work ethic or. You okay?
Yeah, I'm great.
He was
standing
on my wire.
Okay, so with that being said, good culture there. Didn't even have to say anything. Kind of looked out for each other. But it feels like a lot of guys are talking about right now it might not be as easy to find a guy who loves ball or is as committed to work. Maybe some teams are having that kind of ooze through an entire locker room. And culture is the biggest thing. We got a chance to go into your building. Your culture seems magnificent. When you're at this place, I'll start with you, Joe.
Yeah.
Finding guys that love ball, that fit your culture, is that the most important part of this entire thing?
That's big up there. You know, we just got done draft meetings before we came out here, and that's one of the things we talked about. And Coach sat in them, and that's one of the questions we have. How much does a guy love ball, and will he fit into our culture that we've established already? And that's what we're here doing, interviewing guys with.
How do you ask questions? Like, how do you figure out if a guy likes ball or not?
Well, I tell you what, if you sat in the meetings with us, watch Coach work in there, and his energy, when they match his energy, you know they love it.
Coach, let's talk about that. As soon as you got in the NFL, we were excited. We celebrated.
Oh, yeah.
We said, Jim, back in the NFL, this is good news.
Thank you.
We love you. But we also know that as soon as a Harbaugh comes into a team, just like at Michigan, just like at Stanford, just like at San Francisco, just like I assume back at San Diego, everywhere you go, physical team. Yeah, this is what we do. This is how we describe your team.
Oh, yeah, Coach.
Kenny Powers, one of my favorite actors right here. Connor.
Absolutely.
It's an honor.
Hey, but Coach, that's a real deal. That's how we describe your teams. That's how we describe your teams. So, like, when you're at this event, finding those types of guys, he talked about these meetings. Do you know immediately, or how do you know if a guy is a Harbaugh type guy?
Well, it's not a Harbaugh guy. It's a football guy, you know. I mean, how can you tell? You can some, you know, in the interactions. I mean, some guys you can just tell that they're them. You know, they're not trying to bull crap you, you know, and mainly they just, you know, look at the tape, you know. I mean, what you do speaks so loudly that we don't even have to hear what you say. And the reports that they get from from their coach at the school. I mean, you know, just how do we know? I mean, you talk about our culture. You were there. I mean,
fantastic.
You were there in the weight room.
Your culture is fantastic.
Center of player development. I just look at how guys train. You know, how they work on the field and how they work in the weight room. And we just looked at our report card. You know, our players gave our weight room, our training environment, an A+, A+ grade. So
as they should trying to get into the Silver Bells Club.
Yeah,
there you go.
There is obviously something that is what everybody is trying to do.
That's Ben Herbert. That's all Ben Herbert.
Love Herb.
You love Herb, right?
Love Herb. Yinzer, right? I think he's a Yinzer.
Yeah.
He's a Yinzer. He's from Pittsburgh, I believe.
Yeah, if you don't love Herb, then you don't like to train. You don't like to get in there and move weight. And
that might be the way to figure it out. Let's bring Herb in here.
Yeah.
Let's have a conversation for 2 minutes. What do you think of that guy? I love him. Deal. What do you think of that guy? A little bit too much. Sweet. Let's get you the hell out of here. You know, he was electric whenever we saw him.
I totally wanted to do that too. I mean, I've been saying that. And I said
we talked about it. Yeah.
Hey, let's bring Herb here to the interviews. Let's get a guy in front of Herb for 15 minutes. I mean, we're gonna know, but
you legitimately, I think you would, because it's
Herb,
like,
and Herb preferred to stay back and train guys in
of
Los
course.
Angeles.
Yep,
I mean,
that's how he's built.
Conflict of interest.
Absolutely. Okay, last question from me, and then the boys will have some. And we appreciate you guys taking time.
Absolutely.
Legitimately, I know you're very busy. Welcome to Indianapolis. Welcome back to Indianapolis, obviously.
Ring of Honor.
Yeah, you're in the Ring of Honor here, Coach. Let's go.
appreciate
Coach,
it.
I think it's over here to the left. left. I have a.
It's near Colts Nation.
I think it's over here. I think.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah, right there.
You got it, yeah.
Up top center.
Boom. Ted Marchabrota. Right before Colts Nation, Jim Harbaugh. Now, you didn't spend a lot of time here, but you are beloved here. Okay?
Well,
yeah, you just need to know
As
that.
are you. As are you.
I think that is accurate. I brought Royal Rumble here. Got WrestleMania
I get so
coming
many
up.
more high fives now. I mean,
Yes.
just people just randomly on the street. I get a high five. Saw you on the McAfee show. That was so cool.
So that high five plaque that we got you?
It's front and center right there on the desk.
Still going strong.
I give
awesome.
at least one high five a day.
That was the goal. Tim McAfee will be pumped to hear that. Last question for me, though, before the boys have theirs. Coach, you've been there for a year now. Okay. Last year going into the season, you talking about the Chargers was a lot of Justin Herbert is. Yeah, we found the golden goose.
Yeah.
So we got this guy. We're going to protect this guy. Justin Herbert is the guy that you're looking for whenever you're trying to look for a guy. That was the entire messaging. We're going to build around him. 1 year with the Chargers now. Obviously had some success. We thought we were going to go much sooner than I think a lot of people were projecting you guys to get your thing in there. You won a lot earlier. 1 year in now, what did you learn about the team? What did you learn about Herbert? And kind of where are you as the Chargers head coach?
Yeah, all those things. It's super excited about version 2.0 with the team. I mean, we did not achieve the ultimate success. I mean, there's only one team that's happy in the NFL right now, and that's the Philadelphia Eagles. Regarding Justin, he's everything that we thought he was. All of us. I mean, why we're here? I mean, is to level up our game. Joe's doing it. I'm doing it. Just getting up every single morning. We got to level up for Justin, for Derwin, for Khalil, for Joey, for Rashawn Slater. I mean, incredible group of guys. Didn't get the ultimate success, but there was definitely unmitigated success along the way, and keep building. Build, get better.
Yeah, I feel like everybody knows what they're going to get in your building at this point. Like, we were even talking to, like, the chefs. I mean, the chefs, the equipment.
Phenomenal.
The whole building, Joe, is magnetic.
All going in the right direction. Everyone's moving together.
From the RV till now, feels like you guys are already rolling. The boys, you mentioned a name in there. I assume that Connor's going to ask about.
Well, Joe, I was actually curious about the salary cap. Right now, the huge conversation, of course, is with the Bengals, how they have so many great players.
Right.
And it's hard to retain all those guys. And for you guys as well, you have so much young talent on there. Rashawn Slater,
Sure.
Joe Alt, Ladd McConkey now is a guy, and they're still a few years out. But how do you kind of project when to pay people? Like, how do you know when's the right time? How much? Do you try and always go to the top of the market for some guys if they deserve it? Or how do you know when the timing is right? Because obviously some teams get into cap hell. And we don't really believe in the cap space.
Salary cap gymnastics.
Yeah, we think you can do anything you want to pay people. The Eagles are one of those teams. They just did it, and they won the Super Bowl. So how do you kind of project those things?
Yeah, you look forward. Certainly when you have young players, you can't sign any of them until after 3 years. In the league, unless they're undrafted free agent. But you forecast it. You want to get ahead of it, but there's a fine line. There's a delicate balance when to strike, when to do things. Obviously, we got there this year, both new to the organization, so we wanted to get there and feel out the team and get to know the guys. And now we're moving forward and starting to address those issues and those contracts, and that's what we're working for this offseason. We'll work towards during the season and try to stack them and keep as many good players as we can.
And the guys who play 17 games, who play all the games. I mean, that's the ones we want to pay. The guys that their availability is their best ability. Guys that are playing 18 games, out there, fighting, giving everything they can for their teammates. That's competitors welcome at the Los Angeles Chargers.
Oh, yeah.
I think
no
that's
better
a
place
sign.
to compete than on game day.
I think that's a sign right in the building. Competitors welcome, or you said it in here. And I remember going into the last week of the season, it was already locked in, your seating and everything like that. Everything was already figured out. And there was a lot of conversation around the league about who's playing, who's not playing, who's going to try to play, who's not going to try to play. And there's a lot of, conjecture every single year about, well, you get cold, you get rust. Is it rest or is it rust?
Rest or rust,
yeah. And then we talked to you, and I asked you, I'm like, so what are you going to do? This was in the cafeteria. And you said, I think we're about 1 week out from our toughness level,
our peak toughness
that we need to be going into the playoffs. I think 4 more quarters will harden us to where we need to be at the toughness level. So we're playing. Yeah, that's kind of my idea, my thought. It sounds like you truly believe that toughness, number one thing for a football team. You think what is obviously talent you have to have, but toughness is the number one trait that your team needs to have.
It'd be right there tied with talent and effort. Those would be the top three.
Talent, effort, and toughness. And whatever you
by your talent and effort, you will be known as a football player.
You know a guy that's known? Khalil Mack. What are you going to do?
Come on, Joe.
Let's go.
Khalil knows how I feel about him, and we'd love to have him back, and we're going to work towards that. We had good conversations right after the season.
Pay the man, Joe. Pay the man. Let's get it back. Let's get it back.
He's a Silver Bells king, right?
That is amazing. So, but back to his question about paying people.
Yes.
When you pay people,
yes,
and we're talking about the salary cap gymnastics and it being fake and people doing that, you kick the can down the road. Inevitably, it comes.
It does.
When
pay the piper.
You got to hit on draft picks, right?
Yep.
In that kind of the supplement, that is like a huge part of roster construction.
Absolutely.
Is whenever you pay guys at the top end, you're going to need your cheap young guys that you draft that are on limited contracts for at least 3 years, undrafted guys, whatever. They need to perform at a high level. When you're at a combine, how many people are you, like a draft? I don't know how many picks you has. I should have done the research, whatever it is. How many people are you trying to get out of each draft? Like, what is a proper projection of like teams hitting in a draft?
Yeah, I mean, we try to hit on every one.
Exactly.
I mean, that's the goal. If that's not your goal, you're approaching it the wrong way. So we're going to try to nail every pick. That's why we pour so many resources into it. We have the coaches here. We have all the scouts here. We're at pro days. And ultimately, will you hit on everyone? Probably not. But that's our goal. That's our mindset going into
probably not. Stats say yes. Yeah. There's going to be guys that don't make it in the NFL that get drafted. I love that your mindset is like, yeah, maybe. I mean, that's not our decisions.
Never know.
I can't wait to watch what you guys get out of here, especially with talent, effort, toughness.
T-E-T.
Oi. 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 Yeah, it's T-E-T. Oi. 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 Ty has a question for you.
Speaking of all that and being here, how important is it actually being here in Indy and seeing these guys face to face? Because I think the last several years, as the combine's gotten a much bigger deal, like we'll see teams will be here Monday through Wednesday. They do the medicals and then they head out. Like they're not even here for the player interviews. They look at all the tape and all that kind of stuff. But for you guys, how important is it to actually be boots on the ground here and get in front of these guys face to face? Because it happens a lot. Well, someone will get drafted and then a year or 2 years down the road, something pops up and it's like, well, how didn't this come up in the draft process? How didn't the GM or the head coach see? So how important is it actually being here and kind of getting the most out of the combine?
Yeah, just with the interviews itself, it could be our only exposure to the player, and chance to sit in the room with them for 18 minutes, get a feel for them. And it may be for this year's draft. It could be for 4 years down the road, when they become free agents. We're making connections in there and trying to get a feel for the players in that room. And it's a great opportunity for us and the coaches. It's certainly the coaches' first exposure to them. And then just seeing them out here on the field, just watching them compete on a level playing field, going against each other, performing in front of us. It's a great opportunity to let the cream rise to the top.
And what are you doing? You're just being awesome the entire time? Whenever you're out here.
It's spring. If you like football, where would you pick a better spring break destination?
Yeah. Indianapolis
for the combine.
Yeah.
It's beautiful this week, too.
Especially coming from L.A. Obviously everything that happened in L.A., nothing but positive vibes to everybody over there. I assume you guys had people that were very that was devastating, obviously. Yeah. So nothing but positive vibes. When we talk about L.A., Sean McVay was like the first one, I think, that was like, I'm not coming to the combine.
Yeah.
It was after they won the Super Bowl. And the only reason why we pay attention, obviously, is because it's here in Indianapolis. So anytime the contract is extended, the entire city celebrates. Like, we are very thankful that we host the combine, and it is the NFL spring break. And I think even like the service industry here very much understands. Like, we are very thankful that the NFL is here. Places stay open.
They do an incredible job here.
Yeah, people stay open for them to have meetings. So I think like that's when it kind of started. Combine will always be a thing, Coach. Combine will always be a big deal. Always.
I hope so.
What do you think, though? What is your thoughts on it? Like, as the combine has gone, because now it's like they'll flex the ratings. They will flex the ratings this weekend. It'll do better than any NBA game. It'll do better than any NHL game, which is a bummer. NHL is absolutely fantastic. But what are your thoughts on the combine, Coach Harbaugh, and where it is right now?
I love it. I mean, maybe I still look at it as a player, with players' eyes. But couldn't wait for the combine, prepared for the combine. I mean, it was a chance to go and compete. If you and I know some guys won't because for various reasons, and they'll do what's best for them, and I have total respect for that. But it's an opportunity to compete. Go dazzle. Go knock the socks off of Joe Ortiz, and it's where else are you going to find that kind of opportunity?
I wasn't invited to the combine. Thanks, Joe.
Guys,
We voted for you.
Hey, thank you, man.
We did.
Thank you. I appreciate that. But
a guy will say he's a competitor. Hey, I'm a competitor. I'll compete at anything. I'll compete at tiddlywinks.
Sure.
Okay. Well, here's football. You
got an opportunity.
You got an opportunity.
Yeah.
Let's go see it.
I would have. So, I think it helped me though build obviously a lot of spite and motivation that I wasn't invited to the combine. So I thought even the NFL doesn't think I'm supposed to be in their league, and I kind of use that as the motivation of it all.
Oh, there's a lot of guys like that. They'll have their opportunity at pro day and prove the people wrong who didn't invite them to the combine. I mean, that's a great motivator too. Hopefully,
I had a great pro day, man. I had a great pro day. I felt real good coming out of the pro day. Walking out of it, I'm like, maybe I did something there. And it was a little dry for a couple of days. I'm like, oh, maybe I didn't. maybe you didn't do well. Because I don't think a lot of these guys, I mean, nowadays, because we have so much information, and 4-2-1 last year, right? Is that what Xavier Worthy ran? So now we have so much information. But back in the day, you didn't know much. So when you got on the field next to a guy, it was the first time seeing a guy. Whenever we would play against a team, this is coming from player, kicker, punter, low end totem pole, but still opportunity to be there. Whenever we went Cyphers, who was the Chargers punter, that was the first time I was ever standing next to him and watching him do his thing in warm-ups. Right. And warm-ups is where kickers and punters, if they want to, which most, it's hey, let's put on a show here. Let's see what, for me, I wanted the balls beat up. Hey, warm-ups here. I want the corked bat. I am hitting bombs. And the reason is Mike Cyphers stood next to me, and he hit a ball in this stadium. I'll never forget it. It was towards this window. I thought it was going out of the window. He hit a ball that was so big, and I was like, holy shit, I'm not supposed to be here. It was one of my first couple years. I think that's the combine. I think getting a chance to be next to a quarterback, hey, let's see how these balls in the same exact setting, same exact wide receivers. I think there's a moment where you can really find out. So I hope people keep competing out here. Legitimately, I hope.
Did you do punt, pass, and kick as a kid?
Yeah, national champion. I think I had the record for a while.
I apologize. I'm sure that's well documented.
No, it's not. No, it's not. It's quite. I got my ass booed when they announced it. We don't talk about it much. I was representing the Steelers. Steelers played the Titans. It was a wild card game, I think. It was in Tennessee.
Is there video footage of that?
Yeah.
Like Andy Reid?
Yes.
With the helmet on. Where he's like.
Did you did pump pass and kick?
I never got past. I won every single time. I won the local, but I couldn't get past the regional.
Yeah, local is I went to a tiny little school in a town next to Plum. I think it was in New Ken. I think I went into a school. There was 13 guys. Maybe at my age level, the reigning Pittsburgh champion was there. And he went there because there wasn't a lot of people. My mom and I did not know the scouting. You can go to these that don't have a lot of people, so you can kind of get your way in there. And then your numbers get measured amongst the rest of the city, and then you get invited to the Pittsburgh one. Coach, when I talk about having perfect days, I mean, you're talking about the local one I had a perfect. I hit the line. I hit they had a measuring stick.
So you won it all for your age group?
Yeah, whole thing. And then when I got announced in Tennessee, they were playing the Steelers, stadium booed me.
Yep, there it is.
Yeah, here it is. Hold on. That's not me.
We got
sound on this? You got sound on this? I throw the shocker here in a second, too, Coach. I mean, it's a nightmare. But, yeah, here's me.
Wait for it.
Yeah, and I get booed. We don't have sound. All right. If we had sound, I get booed by the stadium. And then the commentators actually.
Yeah, they're booing you right there.
Hold on.
You're wearing the Steelers uniform.
Hold on,
I
Coach.
love it.
Turn it up. Is there sound? That sounds like music.
Yeah, montage.
Yeah, that's so.
Got the trophy, the big trophy.
But
the first one was the football player standing kind of straight up with his. And you won the second one.
Football.
I thought it was like a goalpost.
Maybe it then got to a football when I got it.
I was in Iowa City, Iowa. I'm 8 years old. I got a ride from. There's 4 other kids in the car. We drove to Ames, Iowa. I remember, and. I lost three of the kids, 3 of the 5 of us came back with this trophy, and they got them, sitting there in the laps in the car. I'm by the window. I'm looking out the window.
Oh no, that's a tough ride.
I got tears coming down. I'm like, God, next year I'm gonna.
What was it? The punt or the kick that got you?
It was the kick. The punt was good. The throw was really good, and the kick. I was a straight-on kicker, and it went zing, way off to the right. Just
the way
it
they
just
measure
killed me.
The way they measure it is they put a like a tape measure
straight down. Yep.
And then for every yard you're off,
that gets taken off.
Subtracted.
Yep.
I hit the thing. Punt hit the thing. Like my punt hit the thing.
Hit
Zero
the
subtraction.
Hit the thing.
Zero subtraction.
Hit the tape.
Yeah.
Throw. Hit
How
the
was your-
thing. Zero subtract. Like
Great day.
Like I'm talking. It was down in Tennessee.
Locked in
the thing. It was. And Andy Reid is the greatest of all time at punt, pass, and kick, coach. I mean, it is amazing.
80 yards.
Yeah, I mean, look at the guys in the vest. They were so impressed. They had no idea. They couldn't even pull the grip. Andy Reid, that guy would go on to win multiple Super Bowls, be in the middle of a dynastic run, then lose to the Philadelphia Eagles in dramatic fashion. How will he bounce back? What do you think about how that game went, Coach Harbaugh, or the Super Bowl?
I just know how I felt. I mean, I felt the same disappointment that the Chiefs felt. They were probably less disappointed than we were because we didn't make it to the Super Bowl, and maybe there's teams that were more disappointed than us who didn't make the playoffs. But that's I felt the same disappointment. That, as I said, only one team's happy. The team that wins the Super Bowl.
Okay, so Joe, that's a question for you. Harbaugh football, we're going to be physical. Physical team won. That's the team that won the Super Bowl right now. Knocked off the back-to-back world champs. Does that change anything with how you're building team, or does that just kind of solidify your thoughts?
I think it solidifies what we're doing. I remember on my interview, Coach was there, and we talked about being physical, tough during my interview process, and he's nodding his head, and so we're both of the same mindset. We want to be out there and build the bully and knock teams off and knock them off the ball.
Yeah. Yep, there it is.
Hell yeah. Football.
Yeah. Football. That's football right there.
Football's always going to be that.
Yeah, in the trenches. Right? I mean,
always will be. I think there's some people that are trying to forget about that, when they're building their team and when they're talking to the people that they're trying to get in their locker room. It's like, hey, got to have tough people. This is going to be a sport that you're going to have to be tough. And I played punter, and the only reason why I'm saying that is because I'm watching a locker room, and it's like this guy is scraping, clawing to get to Friday, let alone to play on Sunday. It's like you need to have tough people in your building. And that is...
You need to tell everybody you were national champion punt, pass, and kick. I mean, you should be telling everybody, Pat.
Hey,
that should be on your gravestone right there. National champion.
Part of it.
I will add that.
Add that to it, right?
I will add, yeah. I should be more proud.
Right?
I should be more proud. I didn't know that Jim Harbaugh, Captain Comeback, Ring of Honor member, national champion, going to go down as a Hall of Famer, first ballot as quick as possible for so many. And you're probably already in college football. I don't even know how many Hall of Famers are already in. You're going to do that. To hear that you didn't win one, and then I won literally the only one. I mean, that makes you feel like it was a little bit more of an accomplishment, maybe.
Pretty cool.
So I should be proud.
Respect.
Did you would end up winning though, right? You would go on to win one or never?
At punt, pass, and kick?
Yeah.
I only won the local.
Oh, so you literally never did.
I never.
Oh no!
In three attempts, one in Iowa, one in Ann Arbor, Michigan. I could never get. I could never win the second one.
The stadium. Yeah.
The regional. I couldn't get past the regional.
I'll tell you what.
Never got to a stadium.
You're a champion in our book.
That's right.
You actually are.
Yeah.
In our eyes. Yeah. Tone has a question.
Coach, couple guys from your Michigan team coming out this year, and Kenneth Grant, Mason Graham. Those are our first round tough dogs. I know you took Joe Alt and then a couple Michigan guys last year. We looking at those guys this year?
Oh, absolutely. And Colston Loveland.
Yeah.
And Will Johnson. I mean,
they could all be first round.
I mean, they could. All four could be first rounders. We looked this up. I said, I don't think there's ever been 4 first round draft picks from Michigan in the history of the draft. We looked that up, and there's
3,
the most
right?
is 3.
Yep.
So could be 4, could be 5. There could be a 5th that jumps in there. We'll see, But super proud of those guys, and it's we have the 22nd pick. You get one pick every 30 every 32 picks. So you can see where the good players are, and the odds are you're going to be playing against them. But we're gonna get a good one.
We're just not gonna get all the good ones.
Pay him, Joe.
Pay the man. Khalil Mack. Pay the man.
Pay the man.
And draft him good, Joe.
Hopefully Ed's listening right now.
Maybe you guys need a punter to fill in middle of the season. Coach Harbaugh, we found this on the internet of you looks like a good flat drop table there. Looks like you're swinging a little bit outside of your body, but might be trying to go a little Aussie cross field. What is the swing here, Coach?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what that swing is. I mean, look at
you punt in practice?
Look at the focus
and concentration. I mean, I like the drop.
Great drop.
I don't know what the side straddle is there, but
well, you're coming across your body, I think, a little bit. So maybe you're trying to chop it on the returner because this is obviously punting to the returners, so your punters don't have to punt 1,000 balls.
Yeah, probably trying to get the cross field
Get a little hook going.
Hook roll.
They're doing some magical stuff with those footballs. I'm actually hosting the.
Tell us about that. We're all excited about that.
The special
Did you have them
showcase?
out there this morning? We heard music and.
So they were practicing. So that was with local high school kids.
Okay.
They were running through all the drills so they can test all the different.
There's
cameras.
some youth kids out there in the morning too. Like 8 o'clock, there was some. They were doing pat and go.
Yeah, they were.
Those are the high school kids. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
they were. That was the warm up for the. They did a full combine. I was watching some of the kids out here. There was a punter that was hitting the ball like 55, 60 yards, turning it over, high school kid. But they were trying to get the camera angles on it. So then they had a bunch of kids running to 40. There's a D tackle, nose tackle kid. I don't know if he's a junior high school. He ran a 4.7. He looked like he was like 330, 335.
Nice.
So they were like running all these practice reps out here this
But
morning.
you got the kickers and punters, and the snappers are going to be going day one, and you're organizing it. You're
No,
running it?
Randy Brown, who's the senior.
Oh, we know
special
Randy.
teams-
The great Randy Brown.
Yeah, from Baltimore.
We love
Yes,
Randy.
he has been in the NFL for so long.
Yeah.
He is so good. His brain, whenever it comes to this special teams, is so good. What Baltimore did with Sam Cook in the punt game changed it. I know everybody says the Aussies do, and the Aussies certainly did, and the Aussie style of punting changed football forever. And the Chargers, I think, had one of the first ones way back in Darren Bennett.
Darren Bennett.
Yeah, I think
I
Darren
remember
Bennett
him.
back in the day. Yeah, big dog too. I heard he could hit the ball very, very well. But what Sam Cook started doing was like all these different cross punts and like misdirection shit.
He's a mechanic.
Dude, it was all so like for me, he changed my entire career because I like watched it. And I'm like, oh, we could probably do that a little bit, and we did, and it became so like. Well, I have massive respect for Coach Harbaugh, your brother, and obviously you, but him for the special team shit. What Randy
Did you hold?
Yeah, in college I did not. I lied right to Bill Polian's face. Yeah, I did. But I did hold for Vinny. That was nerve-wracking as shit. But like Randy was breaking down my holding to me yesterday that I never heard. Like he said,
Did you ever throw a pass, run a ball? Did you ever have a fire?
so my average, I have the highest passer rating and potential QBR on Thanksgiving Day. Didn't go for a touchdown because Antonio Brown tackled a tight end named Eric Swope out of Miami, who was a basketball player who was a great special teamer for us. Thanksgiving Day, we're playing the Pittsburgh Steelers. Little roll right, punt, pass, and kick that thing.
How
right
far to go?
I don't remember.
How could you have the highest QBR without it being a touchdown?
Yeah, it's a stat we made up.
He did say on Thanksgiving Day.
Yeah, on Thanksgiving Day.
It's confident.
Yeah, but I think they say should have been a touchdown.
Here we go.
Should have been a touchdown. Yeah, here's punt, pass, and kick, Coach Harbaugh. Do you guys do any of this with the kickers and punters? Any athletic shit whenever you work them out?
Yeah, we J.K. Scott, he's got a good throwing arm.
Yeah.
We threw one this year. We had a fake against Atlanta. Did not pick it up, but
Those are always the worst. We have a couple of guys.
We didn't. The throw was good. The route was good. We didn't execute the blocking as well as
That'll
we
happen.
should have.
That'll happen.
You like a good fake or no? You're
I love it. Yeah.
You're taking
when
Justin-
they work.
Okay, so whenever I was young, I used to play like scout team quarterback for the defense first 3 years here at the Colts. Okay, so I'd work out the linebackers, and then I would go throw on the shell, basically. Card, whole thing.
Like 7-on-7, or were you throwing to a position group?
Yeah, we had, they had like linebacker, safety. I don't know what it's called. You guys,
7-on-7?
Yeah, probably. With the, but it was, I was throwing the shit.
Skelly?
So, yeah, maybe Skelly. Yeah, that's it. That's the word. Yeah, I was doing Skelly. Skeleton. Yeah, we got it. Instead of the trenches. That's what I was doing.
Well, you had to be good then if they trusted you to do that.
Yeah, I was spinning it a little bit. But I wanted to take it into a game. You know?
Yeah.
So I present him like, hey, fake punts are dope. The NFL, I see it. I can spin it. Like, I can throw it. I feel very good. Played quarterback growing up. Whenever we played backyard or street football, was one of the first ones to go telephone pole to telephone pole. Okay, I could get it the whole length of the field. So I was all-time quarterback a lot of the times. Let's do this thing. And I think it was Coach Caldwell. Oh, maybe it was Poley. I forget who I was having the conversation with. I was doing it in jest, but certainly suggesting. It was like, come on, let the boy spit. Like, kind of one of those. And the answer I got back was, so let me get this straight. We're going to take Peyton Manning off the field. Okay. And I laughed so hard. I was like, yeah, all right. Yeah.
Touche.
Touche.
Maybe there's a better idea.
Yeah, then there was Andrew Luck, and I was like, yeah, all right, yeah. If we get one of these, that'd be good news.
They had the free kick this year.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah.
That was cool.
So how long were you waiting on that?
Were you emergency quarterback?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, I used to take like 20 snaps. I had four runs, could flip them. And then obviously we had one over the top in there.
If they only had the tush push in back when you played, they would have probably put you in for the.
Okay, Thank you for hosting the show and bringing up a topical thing that I should ask you about. How do you feel about the tush push? This is very topical. How much of a conversation is actually happening behind the scenes about maybe getting rid of it, and how much are you guys being actually listened to, you think?
I'm not really involved in it. I mean, right now it's a legal play. You gotta stop it or get good at it at running it yourself.
Talking to you changed my entire opinion on the hip drop tackle. Yeah. We were at the owners' meetings last year, and I saw you in the hallway. You were doing an interview with Schefter and your brother, which ended up being awesome. Yeah. I don't know when they aired it this year. Probably whenever you guys played each other or whatever. But I said, how do you feel about the hip drop tackle? And I thought you would be a guy that hated it because football were taking away tackling, and you were like, just this can't happen. And you grabbed me. I was like, yeah, Harbaugh still got it. And then you did like the ripping motion. You thought it should have been gone. And I respect the way you view things. And right there on the tush push, it sounded like.
And guys did a great job across the league, didn't they? I mean, it was. It needed to get out of the game. It was out of the game, and I just thought. I mean, the players responded beautifully.
Okay, so Joe, riddle me this: who would make that decision?
The competition committee,
which is coaches, players.
Well, no, it's the group that sets out. They get the future of football suggestions, the board, and then competition committee gets together this out here, and then they present it to us at the owners' meetings.
What a process! Yeah. So much shit,
crazy,
so many different levels.
Because I think Tomlin and Vrabel were on it before.
Yeah,
I don't know who's a
couple years ago.
Yeah. Need Jim Harbaugh on that.
Yeah,
Coach should be.
Hey, don't want to give you another job,
right?
But sounds like something you should be a part of. You epitomize everything that we love about ball, Coach. You need to know that. And Mr. Ortiz,
appreciate it.
Yeah, we love ball, man. We really do. Mr. Ortiz, phenomenal work, man.
Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Every time you talk, we like you more. And every time you do something with your team gets better. So I think those are two things that are very good for somebody that's in your position, and we can't wait to watch you guys grow.
Appreciate it.
Hey, thank you for stopping by.
Thanks for having me. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Ortiz and Coach Harbaugh.
Yeah.
Next time. Hey, we don't have these. Yeah, I think you guys just get up.
Yeah.
Hey, Coach. Huh?
Yeah. I'll take one of those as well. Thanks, Coach.
Coach. Appreciate you, man. Thank you.
Pleasure. Good luck this year.
No, you're all us. That was not us.
Hey, you're the man.
Appreciate you making me cool and popular.
No.
You do that yourself.
That's him talking shit.
I think.
Yeah.
Thanks for making me cool and popular.
That's probably.
I think he was being genuine.
That's awesome.